What are you doing here? I sprung awake when I heard his voice. I saw a guy in his 30s in a worker's uniform, holding an umbrella and looking at me. You can't be here. This is a no trespassing zone. Get out. The man gestured for me to get out of the pipe. I thought no one was here. My mom just passed away. I was going through it when I fought with my dad. I left the house, but I had nowhere to go. I went into a construction site and fell asleep in a big pipe as I waited out the rain. How old are you? Why were you in there? 15. I don't want to go home. This is how I met Kenji Nakadai. 15 years later. My name is Hirokazu Uzaki. 30. I'm the head of a construction company called Uzaki Construction. I didn't found the company. I inherited it from my father. A year ago, my father fell ill and I took over. There are around 30 employees at the company, from amateur to more experienced. There's a good balance of workers here. It's not the biggest company, but thanks to the support of a major company, we were pretty stable. Hirokazu, long time no see. Nakadai-san, welcome. Since we first met, I frequently discussed things with Nakadai-san. I thought of him as my older brother. Today, Nakadai-san brought his daughter to the office. Thanks for making time. This is the daughter I mentioned over the phone, Miyu. She's 20 now. Hey, Miyu, say hello. Miyu looks unhappy. She avoided our eyes. She wore a decorated jacket and accessories. Typical bad girl vibes. I knew Nakadai-san had a daughter, but I didn't think she would be like this. Miyu-san, nice to meet you. I'm the head of this company, Hirokazu Uzaki. Your father has always treated me well.
This time it's this place? It's probably the same as the others. Just say whatever. I'm going to the bathroom.
She opened the door forcefully and left. Wait, Miyu, don't be rude. Jeez. Sorry, Hirokazu. I should have raised her better. Nakadai-san, what did you want to talk about? Actually, Miyu does not trust adults. Apparently, in freshman year of high school, Miyu told her classmates something and she was slapped for it. It was a big deal. The private school she was going to was terrible. The perpetrator's parents were huge donors to the school, so they didn't do anything to them. Instead, they punished Miyu. Since then, Miyu has held a deep distrust for adults, especially those that are unjust or unfair. She stopped going to school. She'd wear crazy clothes and went to arcades and walked around at night. That's worrisome. At the time, I was on a long-term business trip abroad. I left Miyu with my parents and couldn't protect her. When I got back and saw how she had changed, I realized how dumb I had been. I should have been by her side. When Miyu was little, Nakadai-san's wife passed away. He raised her on his own. She didn't have enough units, but luckily she was able to graduate as a special case. By the way, the high school that Miyu had attended was found to be involved in all kinds of dirty business. The perpetrator's parents were also involved. All the people involved are living in the shadows now. She said she won't go to college, so I asked the people I know to hire her, but she'd cause trouble everywhere. But I want my daughter to get better. Hirokazu, please, hire my daughter. That day, when I was 15, I couldn't accept that my mother had passed away. I had given up, but you helped me, and I was able to take over my father's company. Raise your head. I would be happy to take her in. Hirokazu, thank you. Please take care of her. At the time, we had no idea that Miyu was listening outside the door. The next week, I took Miyu to our construction site for the first time. It would be a new office for a certain company. This is Miyu Nakadai. She'll be working with us from today. She's inexperienced in construction, but please take care of her.
I'm Miyu Nakadai. Nice to meet you?
She seemed to be nervous to see all the sunburnt, well-built men in front of her. Hey, Richie! Are you sure you want to hire this tiny little lady?
Huh? Little lady? Don't insult me.
Okay. Don't say that. Teach her. Miyu-san, be respectful. Okay, let's stay safe as always. The workers let out enthusiastic and baritone grunts. I showed Miyu the ropes and explained the work. I told her to carry lighter materials and clean stuff at first. Suddenly,
I'm pretty strong. Where should I take this?
she tried to carry something heavy, so I grabbed her hand. Stop! It's the law. Women who are 18 and older can carry 30 kilos intermittently and 20 kilos continuously. Women have less muscle and it's harder on their bodies. It's for safety. At a construction site, following the rules is a must. It's for protection. I frowned. It's my fault for not telling you earlier. I'm sorry. But your enthusiasm is great. Thank you. Miyu looked upset. I was worried. The most senior worker on the site saw that and called over. Richie, you're not a good teacher. Darling, I'll teach you how to lift heavy stuff, so come here.
Yes, sir.
Since then, Miyu stayed humble and respectful as she learned from the workers. I heard this from her later, but Miyu had realized how scary it is to work on a construction site when she saw my face. She felt like she needed to be serious. A week later, I was on the phone with Nakadai-san. Nakadai-san was very worried about Miyu. We called each other regularly. Is she okay? At work, and it's her first time living in a dorm. I forgot to mention this, but Miyu started living in a dorm yesterday. The room was finally ready. She's doing great. She works hard and gets along with the other workers. The dorm...
I'm sorry it took so long. We haven't had a young girl in a while, so it took some time.
This is the landlord, Sachie-san. The workers called her the Bull. She was a powerful 60-year-old. Her nickname came from Bulldozer. No one could go against her.
I'm so happy to have a cute girl like you. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. Richie, you took care of the restroom and changing area?
Yes, I did.
Good. Miyu-chan, let me know if you need anything. I'm sure there are things you can't talk to boys about. Richie always gets dumped because he doesn't get women.
Bull, you can go now. Sachie-san set her fires and left like the bulldozer she was.
I've been wondering, Richie, what's up with that?
Oh, Richie? Like Rich Kid. The people who've worked here since I was a kid call me that. I've told them so many times to stop because I'm supposed to be the boss. Oh, shoot. Does she think I'm a bad boss? Miyu looked confused. I was anxious.
That's funny.
Miyu started laughing. It was an innocent laugh of a normal 20-year-old woman. Don't laugh, damn it. I'll show you that I'm not just some rich kid. She was smiling. I see. I'm glad. Thank you, Hirokazu. Haha. It was at my expense, though. How are you? Aren't you busy now? Yeah, there's a lot to learn. Honestly, I'm all over the place. But I'm worried about my daughter. Am I a crazy parent? I shook my head. 3 months later, Miyu was used to the job now. We were at a new site. The new site was for a big apartment complex. Construction would take longer than a year. It was a major project. Currently, we were working on the framework. This was the foundation for the building. The workers were working carefully. We're giving jobs to social outcasts like you. Be grateful. The site director, an employee of our contractor, YB Developers, Kubota. He was hard to work with. YB Developers was under the umbrella of LK Construction. It was a well-known company. His directions were clear, and he didn't ask us to do anything we couldn't do, but his communication skills left a lot to be desired. They say tools maketh something or other. I expertly direct you uneducated lot. I'm quite intelligent. He always bragged about graduating from a top university and looked down on us. His behavior was wildly inappropriate, so I figured I'd report it to YB Developers later. We tried to ignore it for now.
Huh? How dare you? No one here is an outcast or dumb.
Miyu couldn't let go of what he said. She fought back.
I always caused trouble at any company I worked at. The people here accepted me. There are more important things than education or where you work.
Huh. That's just an excuse for people who are uneducated and can't get a good job. In the end, the people who have a good education and work for a famous company are the real winners.
Have you ever thought about how it makes us feel when you say those things? You never think about how our performance levels will go down because you look down on us. You can't even think that far, and you act like you know everything. I guess it doesn't mean much to have a good education and work for a famous company.
What? You little delinquent wench. I apologize. One of my employees was rude. I heard what happened and rushed in. Kubota saw me and calmed down. A little bit. Huh. These uneducated outcasts don't know their place. I apologize.
Why are you apologizing? He's in the wrong.
I can't trust a company that hires rude people like this. There are plenty of other companies. I'll make sure we don't do business with you in the future. I won't forget this. Kubota said his piece and left. Okay, everyone back to work.
Sir!
Miyu-san. I understand your anger. We all feel the same way. I'm happy you feel so passionately. Normally, contractors and subcontractors should be on equal footing. That's why we're called partner companies these days. But if that isn't how it is, we should fight back while following the rules. Above all else, the top priority is to complete the client's project with no accidents. If we cause a scene like this, our work performance will suffer, and we might have delays. Nothing will be solved from just getting angry. We might get in trouble for it. It's frustrating, but let's just hold back.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry I got angry. I'll be careful about being calmer from here on out. But that directory guy said he would make sure they don't do business with us anymore.
It's okay. I'll do something about it. Let's get back to work. Miyu looked worried. The next week, Kubota was his usual self first thing in the morning. If we can push up the deadline, I could say goodbye to all of you sooner. I don't want to be with a rotten company that can't even train its employees properly. Next time, we'll work with a subcontractor that knows its place at the bottom of society. You all can live in regret that you insulted me. I see. So this is how YB Developers feels. It was Nakadai-san and his supervisor. They had opposing expressions. It was intense. Ma'am? Who is that? Nice to meet you. I'm Miyu's father. I heard you were quite hard on my daughter, so I came to say hello. Oh, just some nobody. I thought you were important. I wasn't hard on her, I just said the truth. Aren't you too soft on your adult daughter? Outsiders should mind their own business. Ma'am, thank you for coming. I'll take care of him.
Silence!
Ma'am? Kubota fell silent. She approached Kubota with fury in her eyes.
I've heard about your actions. Uneducated, subcontractor, societal outcasts. In this day and age, with the focus on working conditions, how dare you act so crudely to our partners? What year do you think it is? I'm appalled. Shame! Chief Nakadai, President Uzaki, everyone here, I sincerely apologize for the trouble caused by my poor management. As for the future, I will be firing Kubota here. We've already arranged for someone to take his place.
What? Wait, Chief!
This is the next president of Nakadai Machinery, our parent company, LK Construction's client.
Nakadai-san was the next head of a heavy machinery rental company. A few weeks ago, he became a chief officer.
Kubota! I'll talk to you about your punishment later. Go back to the office now.
What? You just used your daddy to get what you want?
You're still talking like that?
Because it's true. She used her daddy to get rid of something she didn't like. I'm not wrong. It's the truth that these people are societal outcasts. Just because I said the truth, they use their power to...
Kubota, stop it.
Is that all? Yikes. Kubota saw Nakadai-san's gaze and stopped talking. I haven't heard anything from my daughter. Uzaki-san went through all the proper methods to report to YB. Futatsugi-san received the report that way. But Hirokazu and I have been talking. I heard about this and talked to YB about coming here. As you said, my daughter is an adult, but I regret not being by my daughter's side in the past. If I hear that my daughter is struggling, I will do whatever I can to help her.
Dad!
You insulted everyone at this company. You insulted Uzaki-san who helped my daughter. I will not forgive you. Oh yeah? You're oddly hung up on education. I'll say one thing. My daughter did not go to college. but she went to a top high school and got into T University and other top private schools. As for you, you went to a low-level high school, took a gap year, and went to K University. So, to put it your way, Miyu was able to graduate with her little units because she got into so many schools. It was a special case. Kubota-san, please apologize to my precious employees. Deeply. With feeling. Kubota bit his lip and looked at us with a pale face. He lowered his head. I'm very sorry. After that, Kubota was taken away by Fudatsugi. Kubota's troubles didn't end there.
We looked into your work here. You've been insulting workers at other sites, too. Outcasts and subcontractors. Don't you realize you're making yourself look bad? Also, you've been arrogant towards our employees as well. Embarrassing.
Kubota was insulting people in and out of the company. He was reprimanded and punished. Also,
Kubota-san can't get promoted anymore, right? Even if his work is good, if he acts like that.
damn it. I'm better than the guy who just got promoted. He couldn't deal with other people around him getting promoted. He ended up quitting YB, but he repeated the same mistakes at other places. Now, he can't find a job. Why? I'm smart and capable? His pride was in shambles. He hid away in his room at home. Then,
Hey, how long are you gonna fool around?
yikes, Sachie-san started going to Kubota's house. Kubota's mom and Sachie-san were friends. They talked about him.
First, you need to fix that twisted personality of yours. It's fine. For me, that's like breaking a baby's arm.
Thanks to Sachie-san's bulldozer-like tactics, Kubota was on the way to reformation. As for us, we worked with the new site director and the apartment was looking good. Work settled down. Miyu, Nakadai-san, and I were at dinner together.
I know that you think it's your fault I became this way, but I could have called you and leaned on you whenever I needed. I finally realized I can ask for help. Thank you, Dad.
Miyu.
Also, I was able to work with him because of that. That's why, no matter how tough it wasn't a waste. Right, Hirokazu-san?
Miyu-san? Oh? Hirokazu? I think we need to talk. Education and job are part of your status, but they aren't everything. Making a big deal of it only reveals how shallow you are, even if you have the educational background. It doesn't matter if you're missing something as a person.
I'll work hard to make you see me. My goal is housewife.
Miyu! As someone with no higher education, I want to improve myself. My current goal is to be a man Nakadai-san approves of, I guess.